Wow, I feel so special.
What up, Cal?
What's up, Brent? What's up, Larry?
How are you?
Good. Not too bad, not too bad. How about you guys?
You good?
No waffle.
Bel- Belgian cookies from Trader Joe's.
Oh. Oh, you got the hookups at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, my mother-in-law just came back from Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
It's so crazy when people are traveling. It's like, I
I
wish
know.
I could be traveling.
Right? It's a eerie time right now. It's so
Yeah.
crazy, like
Yeah.
what's happening.
Never would I have ever thought that we would be going through this.
Yeah. But then,
Never.
you know, what's fascinating is some of the literature that is surfacing about people who, survived Spanish influenza and things like that, that went through similar things, and it's just like, wow, the world's gone through this before. It always feels like, oh, only we're going through it. This is like all new, but it's a thing.
Yeah. It's like, I wish more people read about it. So we're like, hey, let's listen and follow directions.
That's a whole nother
That's a whole different thing. That's a
Yeah.
whole
nother thing.
Can of
That's
worms.
so sad.
True.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
All right.
Kaulana!
Shall we do this?
Do it.
Hey, first, I'm gonna play it ghetto style, but this is a little ditty that Kelsey gave us for our intro, and it goes like this.
Kelsey Park.
It's Larry and Brand Conkey. It's Larry and Brand Conkey.
I love that.
That's also kind of like a little borderline copyright infringement, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll wait for the cease and desist.
So, welcome to the 20th Sickled Podcast. Our next guest is an award-winning magician who has been performing since he was 12 years old, which was eons ago. At 16, he started Torch Hawaii, an entertainment company which creates experiences for events and also works with schools and youth organizations to educate and empower them.
Wow.
Welcome, magician Kaulana Chang.
Thank you. Nervous.
That's awesome.
Or
Why are you
home
nervous?
of magician.
I felt
See,
like that had to come out at one point.
See, I enunciate home of magician Kaulana.
Torch Hawaii. Hawaii.
Torch Hawaii.
Hawaii. Okay.
Oh man, you guys are too much. I love it.
So, yeah. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. Larry and I really appreciate it. Well, I appreciate it. I don't want to speak for Larry since he's right there, but
No, yeah, I'm glad you're here too, man. I think a lot of people, or some who aren't familiar with you, might wonder why a magician is on this show, because this is a show that's focused on dancers, but many who do know you know that Kaulana is very intertwined with the dance culture and industry here in Hawaii, and then double butt.
Uh-oh.
Kaulana did dance at one point in his career.
yes, he did.
And I have video of that. I'm not gonna play it. Yeah, I wouldn't
Okay,
do it.
Prove it.
But
Nope.
I also had the privilege of being in one of those numbers with him as he was exploring dance. So glad you're here, man.
Thank
Yes.
you so much, you two. I appreciate being asked and being here, and yeah, it's gonna be. I'm nervous, but I'm very interested.
Don't be
Yeah.
nervous.
Don't be nervous. We're just talking story, and a big part, if you haven't heard, we're just talking story with the people from Hawaii to inspire them on their journey in the dance world, but also to celebrate this culture of dance that has sent many people away and brought them back, but also continues to thrive here so that we continue moving forward and sharing our gift of dance to the world with aloha from Hawaii.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let's start you off with some quick lightning round questions. Like you just got to come off the dome.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy kind. So easy.
Yeah, so easy. What's your favorite dish?
Oh. You know, I'm a meat eater, so like bone-in ribeye, medium rare is like the
Ooh,
perfect. That's it.
Ooh. From where?
from there.
See, it changes. It's, like I've been to
Yeah.
Highs before, and
Mm.
like it's good the first time. It's not the same, but
Yeah.
you know, then you got Ruth Chris. I mean, you got, but still
Classic.
trying to find the ultimate place that's consistent.
Where's the latest one?
Oh
That
my
was good.
gosh, when was the last time?
Have you guys, while you think of that, I wonder, have you guys been to that one restaurant that's at the top of the Ala Moana building? I don't know the name, but they do steak there now.
Oh, really?
Oh, signature.
Yeah, Signature.
Yes.
You guys been there?
It's good. It's good.
See, I think that's where we need to. How about the three of us go there when it reopens, and so then that'll
Yes.
be my new taste test. I can see what else.
That sounds good to me. Anytime.
Sounds good to me.
Any reason to go out
Yeah,
and be
seriously.
with people?
So where's the last like awesome steak that you had last
Oh
time?
my gosh, I don't even remember. I want to say it's not technically the same, but I think the last one I actually had during the past 6 months is like Side Street. You know, it was just there.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I love their boneless kalbi, their fried chicken, their pork chops, and got the steak too. So it's like it's a nice mix of
Nice.
good stuff.
Nice. Nice.
I think Kalana, you were somebody who I would characterize as a foodie before I knew being a foodie was a thing. Just putting that out there.
No, it's weird because that's what a lot of people. But I don't. I just love food. I'm a big boy.
Right.
I got to stay, fed. So I just gotta eat.
You're not that big. You're looking thin right now. Looking good, man.
It's the light. It's my hair and makeup that just came in and
Oh.
out. They just
Oh.
they contoured me real good.
Oh, is Kitty making an appearance today, or is she retired?
Oh, she's living in Alaska right now, where it's very cold, and yeah, she's been there for like
She's chilling.
13 years.
Right on. Okay, we're going to which I think is going to happen with Kalana. But do you have any hidden talents besides magic?
Ooh.
Any
Magic
like,
and-
weird, yeah.
So
Magic
growing
and dance.
up, this is just I don't even consider this a talent. I just think I'm weird. But growing up, I loved hanging spoons from my face. Like I mean, not just the nose. So I could actually hang one off one ear, this ear, my chin, my nose, and my part of my cheeks right there, all at the same time.
Nice. It's amazing.
How do you do this one and this one at the same time?
You just gotta angle it good. It's like you have to angle this one and then that one.
Nice. Right on.
Uh,
That's
a great
the
answer.
Exact,
It's
yeah,
such
that's
a
the
great
exact
answer.
kind of answer we always look for.
yeah, that's great. What are you currently binge watching?
Oh my gosh. I've been like so into documentaries right now. The one I just watched was McMillions on HBO Max. So so what I didn't even know this. So McDonald's had the monopoly or has the monopoly game, right?
Yes.
Apparently
Yes.
from 97 to 2001, when they were doing it in 2001, the FBI got information that there was some fraud going on within the whole Monopoly game, because someone basically told them information that all the big winners from 97 to 2001 were actually related. and that's what started this whole thing. It's like a six episode documentary. It was so good. Like I had to watch
And-
the whole thing.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is it true?
Yeah, they did the investigation, but then the crazy part is, at the very end of the last episode,
Spoiler alert.
yeah,
Yeah.
I won't tell
spoiler
you,
alert.
but they tell you who the informant was who told them, and it's not what it's when you watch it, you're gonna learn all these characters. I mean, there's connections to like the mob in New York, like that's how
Damn.
crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I just
That's crazy.
finished that like the other day.
Late 90s, early thousands mobsters. Right on.
Crazy, yeah.
Mix up with Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. That's who
They
would have
found the
thought?
real Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Nice with the pun.
Nice. I like that.
Okay, Kyle, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
I feel like magicians always want to fly, so you can't fly.
Okay.
That's true. Or disappear.
That's a Copperfield thing, huh? The flying.
Like
Mhm.
teleport.
That's his
yeah.
jam, right?
Yeah, that's his thing.
Teleport, flying. Yeah, you gotta.
Man, okay, so the only reason I'm saying this now is because I also binge watched like Umbrella Academy not too long ago.
Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
absolutely love that series.
It's so good, right?
Yeah, I love
So, I
it.
mean, again, I would love to fly. I would love super strength, invisibility, all of that stuff. But I love the character of Allison, how she just about the rumor has it or heard a rumor. Like I don't know why I love that even though like all the other characters have great powers, I'm so intrigued by that because it's different.
Interesting. Yeah.
I would say I would have to go to like what is this? Like creating suggestions or something. Yeah.
Or you just secretly want to be Allison, which is fine also.
You know.
She did good. She did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. If you lived in a sitcom, which one would it be?
Not Friends.
Not.
I'm so tired of Friends being the answer. Which, I mean, it's one of the classics.
It's okay.
It's a classic. It's a classic. I would want to be there, but is there something else other than Friends?
I'm sure there's probably a better one that I can't think of right now, but the one that comes to mind is a show called The Fosters. Have you guys ever seen that? So it actually
Is that the cartoon?
no.
Oh,
So it's the show ended already. They did a spin-off. It's with ABC Family or Freeform. That's where it started from. But it's basically about two mothers who end up fostering kids. But it deals with so many amazing issues. I mean, from immigration, from like Black Lives Matter, and this is, I think it finished maybe 3-4 years ago. And what I think
are the two moms a couple?
yes.
Awesome, man.
So it deals with so many things right now. Of course, the LGBTQ community,
Yeah.
but I know it's such a feel good reality of what's been going on and what goes on in this world. So I mean, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I don't want to see that now.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Here's your last one
Okay.
for the warm up. If money was not an issue for Kaulana, what would you be doing? What would you be doing?
Ooh, that is see, because I have a couple different answers. Like I have something for myself, something for like I would want to benefit the community. There's something that is so it's kind of, but I mean, I guess for me it would finding money, putting together a real good theater, creating a great performing arts, company, organization, and really giving opportunities to everyone in the state to perform, to allow themselves to do what they love to do, but with state of the art, technology and everything, and but the educational side and the performance side.
Wow.
Nice. We'll talk
That's
later.
cool. Dude,
Let's go. Let's
that
go.
sounds awesome, man. You survived. Good
You
job.
survived.
Oh, whew,
See, that wasn't too bad.
hard.
Oh my gosh, whatever, dude. The performer over here. The
Yeah.
performer getting nervous from like
Oh, boy.
questions. The guy who's done shows in front of thousands of people across the state of Hawaii. Actually, when we were both younger, Kaulana and I toured the states with Sassy Magazine and Gear Up Hawaii, which is like an amazing nonprofit. And we went and toured all the islands, man. That was fun.
Oh my God, we have some great stories from that too.
I know. That was crazy.
Definitely done a lot.
Nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how did you start? Let's go with how did you start dancing?
We all know you do magic, but let's do dancing.
Yeah.
First. This is a dance podcast.
But let me tell you how I got that. So actually, it was funny because I was just thinking about it, and so
You saw Jason shaking his booty, and you're like,
And you're like, yes,
I want to do that.
like
I
that's
want that.
amazing.
Just
I
like
want
him.
that booty. I want that.
Oh my gosh. I know. Wait. So first, I have to owe it. I have to owe it to John Mozel. If you guys don't know John,
Wow.
yes, it's because of
John,
John.
rest in love.
Yes. So he's an amazing photographer. I believe he was like one of the first people to start actually doing underwater shots. Like years ago. I mean, I got to work with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the reason I owe it all to him is because, so before I got into the dance community and all of that, so when I was in high school, when I was a senior in high school, I got a huge opportunity to be in a show in Waikiki called the Yes International Review Show, and it later became Encore Hawaii. So it was a Las Vegas style variety show, Polynesian Palace, which no longer exists. That's Beach Walk now,
Wow.
but that
Yeah.
whole area. So for 4 years, I used to, I was in that show, performing magic. And then unfortunately, it
And
closed.
that was an invitation from Mozo?
No.
Oh no, separate. I see.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, the show closed 2 weeks after September 11th. So I believe like our last show was literally 19 years ago yesterday or today, I believe.
Oh.
So the show closed down. But so what happened was the photographer of the show who did all the promo pictures was John Mozel. And so we talked, we did a couple shoots and stuff like that. And so then he told me, he's like, hey, I also do photography for this magazine called Sassy and G Magazine. Or I think it was just Sassy at the time. And so he introduced me to Jody and Kat, the owners of Sassy, and which
Shout out to
introduced
Jody
me
and
to
Kat.
Cutmaster Spaz, who was the music director at the time.
Shout out
Spaz.
Cutmaster Spaz.
Yep. And Spaz had his DJ school upstairs.
At
up
Hyper
in the
Spud.
spot. And that's
Whoa.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I used to chill with Spaz, go to his DJ school. And that's how I met Jason and everybody from that point on. So that's how it started. That's how the relationship started. But then meeting Jason, then he's like, hey, I have this idea. What if we collab and do this concert called Omega?
Wow.
I still have the VHS of it.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's
That was a grip of time ago.
that's how I met
That's
you, Larry. and-
Yeah, that's how I started going to Hyper Squad. I started going to Hype when Omega was started, and so I think you and I started going to Hype around the same time.
I think so. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's how it started, and that's how I started working with the community.
So for people who don't know, what did you do in Omega? You didn't
So,
dance though at that point, right?
not at all.
Jason hit you up for magic. That's what it was.
Yeah. So we did. I want to say so the opening, of course, the main production opening number. I had this
that was
illusion.
fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and at the time was with Dora. Miss Dora.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dora.
Where is she now?
I have no idea.
She's married, and I know she has one kid.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
She's the best.
she was the
That's
best. She
such
was the
good
best.
time. But yeah. So Dora went in. We did this big. The concept was very like um, Resident Evil ish feel, like experimentation. It was great. It was dark. It was crazy. I loved it. And so basically Dora was like the experiment, and she went into one of my illusions, one of the boxes, and all these blades and stuff went through her. And then I think at the time she came out, and then she was like in a different outfit, different color to match the different the dancers and stuff. So, yeah, it basically was just magic. That's how the connection was.
Wow. And then at what point did you think like, I want to dance?
Well, technically, it wasn't because I wanted to. Because I do not claim I am a dancer. I
Hey,
sometimes
you know what? You know what,
Hey.
Kawana? Let's just be honest. Jason can basically talk anybody to do anything,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah. I mean, no, exactly. So somehow he convinced me to do an Ala Moana performance. So now I don't do well with like a lot of choreography, especially when it's like, blocking dance, whatever, hip hop, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I was okay with doing Nito's number, which was like a Latin partner performance. So I had somebody I could actually, just in case I forgot or whatever. So,
Yes.
but what made it horrible, and I still claim that Jason did this, like days before the performance, we had the number down. I was confident. It was all partner stuff. Then I feel like he convinced Nito to add in like just the guys, like groundwork, choreography, and I'm like, wait. I know this. I know the partner stuff. I can do the turn, everything. And so I had to learn like this. I don't even know if it was like 8/8, 4/8. I don't know how many eights it was, but it was like the guys walked away, or moved and did their own choreography, and then went back with the girls. But here's the worst part. There was only 3 guys. Just 3 guys. Was me, Larry, and Ricky Lamb. You look at how talented those dancers are, and look at me, the first time dancer on stage. It was, oh my gosh.
Oh man.
It was
Well,
crazy.
obviously, Jason saw something in you.
Oh man. It was horrifying.
That was fun, Kawana. Let's be honest. You had fun.
I did. Well, the one thing that so Star always teases me about this.
Oh, Star, you're like dropping names, and my heart is like bleeding right now. I miss
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it make you feel so good? Like, oh, there's so much connections.
I love Star.
Yeah, she's the best. So there's this one part in the number that the girls walk to us and push us. And the fact that Larry's laughing already is already killing me. So Star always teases me on this because I don't remember who the girl was who was my partner, but she like puts her hand up, and even before she like starts to push, I literally throw my body across the floor just to be so dramatic.
If people didn't know you were a drama queen, that would be a tell. That would be a good tell.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Oh, hot already.
So good. That's so good.
Yeah. But thankfully, that was the only time I ever danced. The only time I've ever done choreography, I've ever danced, that was it. Like, was one time, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to retire as a dancer now.
At least you tried it, man. A lot of people don't even do that.
Yeah. Too much anxiety.
Cool. That was a very wonderful but short-lived dance career you had.
That was a very short-lived. You know, I think maybe just one show you should come out of retirement. I mean, once this whole pandemic, like, allows us to.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
why
gotta call
not?
him Nito.
Yeah, we call
Yeah.
Nito and do an all guys section again. And
I mean, only if I can
Absolutely.
dance with the two of you. I mean, that's just.
oh, done.
Done.
I don't know why I just said that because I'm just
I'm
thinking
in.
to myself, oh, right now.
Well, if we do twerking, I'm in.
Yes.
To me, I have some untapped potential in the twerking world that I feel
yeah.
like I need to explore. So
It's been a minute since I've done that, so I gotta stretch out my back. But
yeah,
I'm ready.
so gross. Tell us about magic, Kalana. I mean, I'm glad, and I think that's why, you've had so much experience with the dance industry here in Hawaii, the performance industry as well, and you've had experience with multiple dance studios. You've even done different things yourself. But maybe for those of us who don't understand or know your magic world, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What we've heard so far is that when you were in high school, you went to Kamehameha, right? So you went to CAM schools, and so towards the end of your schooling there, you did a show. But so, like, how did you even get into magic to begin with before doing that show?
So it started for me when I was 8. So
Whoa.
when I was 8 years old, I got my first magic effect from the Disneyland Magic Shop. So
Wow.
Nice.
that's my connection there. It's what started. I still have it, to this day. And my family keeps telling me the story. Like, no, I want that trick. I want that effect. I want that. And it was like $45. So it wasn't like a $5 little thing or like whatever. It was a $45 effect. And like, I remember my siblings tell me like, oh, you're just, nagging your parents about it. I'm like, well, I'm glad I did because I got it. And it basically was this bag that you could make things change places, disappear, appear, all kind of different things with just a bag that you can show empty, make something appear, all that different things. So it started for that. And then at that point, basically every year for my birthday, I would get another effect because, my family's like, this is what you're into, this is what we'll buy. And every year I would get it, I would look at it, not know what to do, and then I would like throw it in a box in my closet. Like I just kind of left it there, like I didn't get it. But it was my 12th birthday when, with a lot of things going on in my life at that time, I turned to magic to kind of escape what was going on. Not the greatest things are going on in life, but that was my turn to. I finally went through that box of all this magic, and I started looking at it, started going through it. And then it just sparked something in me, and found the local magic shop, right, which actually wasn't that far. I lived at Kapalama Heights back then, and right down in Palama Settlement, there was a magic shop. It was like a mom and pop store called Zook's Magic and Jokes.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had like, it was a little place. You went in, you could buy magic, and you could buy milk and like ham and cheese and bread. Like it was for the neighborhood.
What about lunch and meat? They had lunch and meat over there.
Oh, definitely. Right on the shelves. Right on the
The
shelf.
thin slice kind. Yes.
Hey,
Wow.
And then it started there. So then from there, Ms. Sukimura was technically my first teacher, my first mentor. I was a part of a young group of magicians who were, at that time. So we like in his garage, we'd, meet every Saturday, learn magic. And then I just met more and more magicians. After that was Mr. Yoshida, Jimmy Yoshida, who is known as kind of like the grandfather of magic. He's the one who taught and really introduced John Hirokawa to magic when he was a kid.
Wow.
And he was a connection to Japan, since he always went to Japan. He had great, all the magic that from there he would bring here to Hawaii. So we were able to kind of start learning that kind of stuff and seeing different types of magic, coming from Japan. So got into him. And then my third teacher was Curtis Cam, who's still doing magic today. He tours. He's a an amazing close-up magician who's
Huh.
toured the world teaching and performing. And he used to have a show in Waikiki at the Halekoa Hotel. And so as when I was about 14, I would, basically what he would do is he would invite us over. So we would do close-up magic for the guests and the audience before the show started. So it would give
Oh,
us
wow.
practice. Yeah, and then at the end of the night, he would teach us and educate us. So that's how we kind of, was able to, and it was a small group of us. I mean, I guess, he saw a lot in us and, our potential and stuff like that. So, and then after Curtis then was Lesau, who was a stage magician, who I met. He actually filled in for Curtis one night at the show. They needed help. I was there, so I helped them backstage. And then Les, he's been in Vegas. He's like I believe he's one of the only magicians in Hawaii that has actually toured, at the time was touring doing a stage show. He was known for his birds, his macaws, and, producing all these great stuff. And he became my mentor on stage magic. So I got the close-up, I got the stage, and then from there, got him, just kept working, and then, great opportunity when I was 18.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a lot.
That is,
No.
but that's dope.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see you as this like fun, outrageous guy, but a lot of people I think don't recognize a lot of the work and the history the work you've put into your craft and the history you have, which is also very like locally oriented, which I think is also beautiful and something to be celebrated. So,
Thank you.
that's great.
Yeah, that's stuff that like I didn't even know. Like I've known you for years, and I mean I've known like some of it, from talking with you. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Chanel grew up around Palama Settlement, so she remembers going to that store that you're talking about as a little girl.
Man.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the Filipino K-Town before she went to the Kaneohe K-Town. Oh, man.
Okay.
So what do you do? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brent.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you've done a lot more after the show in Waikiki and doing the show with Hyper Squad. Why don't you catch us up to the things, you've done after Hyper Squad, which I think is a lot of things as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I never had a plan. It just, whatever happened, whatever took me, whatever came into, became an opportunity for me, I kind of grabbed on it. So, I mean, because the one thing that I learned from Hyper Squad was, so before Hyper Squad, like, I pretty much only listened to Hawaiian music, local music. Like, I mean, I knew about big artists, but I didn't know about
Kanaka Maole.
I mean, most people don't even realize that before all of this, when I was in the show, I was part of a halau. I used to dance hula. But
Prove it.
no.
Prove it.
Let me see your army.
My kumus would come in and just like hit me.
Alexia Uehe.
So you guys twerk when we dance, and then I'll start doing some of that. We'll make it work, okay? We'll do a collab of that.
That'd be good, man.
Down.
Wow. So you were deeply into that.
Yeah, I mean, my life was very, I mean, going to Kamehameha.
Yeah.
My family, I mean, so many of my family danced hula. I mean, they still do. And it was just, that was kind of what I grew up in, And so getting introduced to hip hop, to jazz, ballet, to, contempt and all this, I'm like, what is, like, I didn't even really know this was a thing. Like, I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't realize to what scale. So, I mean, I learned so much from Hyper Squad, and it just opened my mind to so many things. And so I think that's what I loved about after Hyper Squad. I started working with 24/7 Dance Force, Studio 808. I got to work with Honolulu Dance Studio. I mean, and to see like, to me, they were like, oh, it's dance. But every studio has their thing, has a thing that just makes them who they are, and it just blows my mind, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when we're with Hype, we went to go support 24/7 in concert. So all of us from Hype went, and I think it was DX was the first concert I saw of 24/7's, and they had like, you know, tents that were like pods. And I think like, you know, I think it was Yuri who was on this like the mechanical thingy that just goes up and down. You know, I don't know that kind of stuff. But
Genie.
and I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Like, it was such a different feel. And you know, I've never looked at it as if one studio being, you know, better than the other, because and that's not what it is, because everybody has their own thing and it's what they're good at, you know. I mean, and so it just opened my mind and opened my eyes to everything. So one thing that I wanted to do was to be able to bring studios together at the events that I've been doing, especially with Sassy. We did so many events that we were able to bring in performers and entertainers in. So I believe almost like 2 or 3 times a year with like Windward Mall, we would do their like a fall event, spring event, summer event. And we would I would bring studios together. So I would have 4 or 5 studios come perform and just share what they love. Because that's what any performer, any artist wants, is an opportunity to share and to put ourselves out there. But yeah, I mean, I think that was my main thing, is always, you know, any type of event I could, you know, adding dancers, adding performers, adding studios to, that's all I really cared about, was to give everybody the opportunity.
So cool.
So, you know.
I gotta get back. I wanted to give back to the community that helped me up who I am today. You know, I mean, it always makes me sad when people look at the dance community as like, oh, they're just dancers. I go, you have no idea. If you've never spent a week, you know, even a day at a dance studio or seen a concert, you have no idea what, you know, they're capable of doing. I mean, looking back at all the concerts I was involved in with Jason and with Hype, and it's, I mean, amazing. I mean, holy smokes. And seeing what every other studio does. So people need to know.
With all these shows that you've done, we always love to hear like some like little top secret or embarrassing things. What's like 1 or 2 like hilarious backstage, you know, like story or shenanigans that has happened that come to mind, like as you reminisce?
Oh my God. Oh man. See, now that's I don't know, how do you choose? Oh my gosh. You know, it's been so much. It's like everything seems like a blur, but well, I'll kind of talk about what we kind of mentioned earlier about Jason. Because one thing that doing anything with Hyper Squad was the fear. I mean, I love Jason, do not get me wrong, but he can be one intimidating gentleman. You know,
mean
This
Concert
is like,
Jay.
you know what's so funny? I feel like Sickle Podcast is like this ongoing roast of Jason, Mr. Hyper Squad. You,
Especially when he's in concert mode. When it's Jason in concert mode. Yeah.
oh,
It's so great.
I mean, I'm trying to remember his saying, but it was like, if you have a question, first of all, like, can you answer it yourself, right? And then he asked a choreographer, and well, whatever it was like, but still, don't ask me, or something like that. I was like, So then I remember when I was like, because we would work with Jason a lot, on the production side sometimes, and I'll be like, people are like, oh, I have to ask Jason. No, do not ask Jason. You go ask your question. Go. We don't want. Go away.
Oh man.
But sorry, I want to bring this as I feel like I just kind of talked about it, but one of the greatest experiences that I had was working with you and Jason with Project Innovative.
Oh wow.
I want to bring stuff
Oh
back.
yeah, that's right. For a short stint of time, we wanted to do a production company. Wow.
I mean, I learned so much from the two of you. I mean, I was like baby, with the graphic side and all that kind of stuff. But it was crazy on the ideas and the things that you guys would just throw back and forth at each other.
That's so cool, man.
I don't know. You know what? I feel like everything is blurred. Everything is a blur to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had great experiences. I have, probably because all the like bad, things that shouldn't have happened. I try to forget and take out of my.
They're blocked out of your memory.
Yeah. Like I remember all the stuff that happened to other people. I don't think those people would be happy for me to talk about those things.
Yeah. You know what that's called also? It's called repression,
Yes, yeah. Selective
kidding.
memory. Yeah.
But I have
That's
actually
actually
a
a good
really good story about Brent.
Yes, tell.
So I mean, we're talking about stuff, talking about Jason. I need to talk about Brent. Okay, so
Oh boy.
because I thought about this, and I think it was last night I was thinking about like, this is, I mean, Brent's a troublemaker. If you don't already know this, then now you know. So
What?
I used to handle promotions and some marketing for Razor Concepts back in the day. And so
Are they still open? Or did they close?
I think I mean probably now closed, but I mean they're still going. They Razor Concepts still at Pearl Ridge. I'm not sure how they're going, but yeah, they're still open, I believe. So I guess Brent was at the mall one day, and I happened to leave already, and I get a call. And I get a call from one of the managers. And, hey,
Do you know a guy named Brent?
but the best part is because he's here and he says you owe him money. So what happened was Brent shows up, all trying to like scare these poor teenagers that work at the store. He's like, "Where's Paulana? He owes me money." Like he is like full on. I mean, look at him. He can be intimidating very much.
Okay, wait. First of all,
K-Town. You went K-Town on him.
this is when I first moved back. Like, so I had that LA vibe going on. Like, I thought I was a little more like thuggish. And I showed up and I asked for Kalana, and they said, "Oh, he's not here." I said, "Because he owes me $3,000. I want my $3,000 right now."
Wow. That's awesome.
He frightened these kids so bad because they all knew who I was.
They weren't kids. Your manager was not a kid.
Okay, but the other workers that he frightened. And so like they're caught, and he was so concerned for me. He was like, "Do you owe this guy money? Because I just want to let you know, like he's kind of scary. He's gonna." I mean, it was hilarious. And but at that time I still didn't really know. I was like, what? And so they had to like go to the cameras to take a picture.
Wow.
Send it to me just so I knew exactly. And as soon as I saw it was Brent, I was dying. It was so funny. And I think I called you or texted you like right after. Like, oh, why are you trying to scare the kids for?
That's awesome.
First of all,
That's
let's
amazing.
put this out there. Look at me. I'm not that intimidating. Like, I'm really not.
If you don't smile, you don't say anything, you just have that look.
I guess. I think at that time I had a shaved head too. And I've heard people say that I look like a crazy Asian guy when I have a shaved head and I don't smile. But I'm really not that intimidating. At least I don't think so. So
That's a good
I wish
one.
I still had that video, that
That was
the
great.
security cam video.
That would be awesome.
What about the time you had me steal for you?
What?
Oh,
What's happening?
oh my! I
From
totally forgot.
where?
Wait, I
From
need to,
Razors.
yeah, no, I need to explain so people don't start thinking like for my position, we wanted to make sure that the workers could identify and see like people who could steal and making sure. So I went outside and I saw and I asked Brent to go and I go take something, see if these guys catch you. So I know and
Wow.
everything, and he apparently they did it because I forget. You came out with like 5 shirts.
Like a stack. I came out with a stack. Like I looked at them in the eye, grabbed the stack, and just walked out.
Talk about loss prevention
Right?
or loss encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mind you, mind you, I gave it back to Kaulana and been like, there it is. This is what.
And then I had to go
Awesome,
talk
bro.
to the guys. I had to go talk to the workers.
Oh, that sucks.
Good learning, teaching moments we have in our life.
Hey, Kaulana,
Yeah.
do you have what are like some of your favorite memories of some of the dance studio directors that you've worked with?
Mm. I'll start with Jason. I've never forgotten this moment, and I will always. I mean, we've had great moments. Um, After a while, like I swear, I started like living with him on the weekends at his place, and because then every Saturday night he would take me to we'd go to Piranha Room, you know, back at the,
Shout out Piranha Room.
Wow.
Russell and Piranha Room.
it was great because then I mean
Dang.
to a point when I started performing there. I started performing at Piranha Room. I mean, it was great, you know. So I learned stuff. We had fun, and then like the next day we would like go to church. Like it was crazy back in the. It was such a different. Yeah, I mean, I loved it. But going back to after Omega, when because I think after every concert, everybody repainted the studio, cleaned the studio. That was kind of like tradition. And so I was there. I was there for like the whole week. And I think towards the last day, Jason came up to me. And again, you know, we just had this, you know, our relationship wasn't as strong as it was after that. You know, it was kind of still new, you know, we did the show. And then he said, like, you know, it's hard to leave family, yeah. And it was such a simple thing, but then I never looked at it as because when I was with the show in Waikiki, that was my family. That was my performance family. And then I lost it all. And then without really knowing, I found a new family and I found a new place I could call home. And just those simple words to me were just like, wow, you know, like it was just like, okay, this is something. And that's what started everything from that point. But that was that point when it could have been like, I didn't need to come and help out that whole week. But I loved it, you know, and I felt like I was accepted. I felt like I belonged to something. And I could share it with people who were like me, who love to entertain, to perform, who are all artists. So that was definitely be my story about Jason. It's hard to pick. Like, okay, I'll jump to Studio 808 with Casey, Melody, and Aaron, all the directors over there, and their board, and you know all the families. I think one of the my favorite, and it's funny now I'm looking at it, all of it are kind of similar. Is when they accepted me for who I am and allowed me to be creative, to open my mind to help them, you know, do things for their concert. every year for maybe the past 4 or 5 years, I've been voicing their introductions and stuff for their excuse me, for their concerts. And I was able to kind of create a little blurb, I guess, to introduce, to kind of talk just before the lights out, blackout and curtains up.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's that allowing me to be myself. And I guess for me, going back in it, that was not always the case for me. Growing up and stuff like that, I was that, I mean, everybody says this. I think everybody has experienced it, but I was the one teased and bullied for being that, the short, fat kid growing up in, elementary, intermediate, and all that kind of stuff. So no one ever respected or wanted my opinion because they never felt like it was ever valid, And so that was that for, 808 when they gave me that opportunity. And then for Marcelo, it would have to be Passport. That concert, he allowed me to be a character throughout the whole show. Yeah. I was the pilot, but that was, I would do magic in between and stuff like that. And again, it wasn't like, I want you to do this here and I want you to do this. I go, this is what's happening. You use and you create in between, and you put the magic that you want to do. So I think for all of them, it's when anyone allows me to be me, to have a voice, to be creative, and just share, and and giving me that opportunity to do all of that.
Wow. That's awesome.
Sorry, took enough turns.
Yes,
that's great.
It's encouraged for sure. Really cool to hear.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot in. No, I mean, yeah, because you've literally got to be with a lot of the studios, and I mean, it's not so much now, but this is coming from when people were very territorial about who was coming in and out of their studios. So I think there's a lot about you as a person and your character and your love for this dance community. Even though, like, you were only a dancer for one concert, you show so much love and respect for everyone in this art form, and try to, I guess, invite them into your world as well. Yeah,
it's really cool. That's something I definitely recognize in you, Kaulana, is that same desire for belonging and for inclusion. I think you do that for so many people. That's a really special thing to see and hear.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you working on now? Like, what is Magician Kaulana doing, or Torch Hawaii doing? I know it's kind of tough with the pandemic, but what were you working on?
I know. So, before, I was working on a whole bunch of new projects, which I was very excited for. One being actually something to bring the dance community closer together, but not having to do anything with actual dance, just as humans and artists coming together. So I was working on that. Everything's on pause right now. But and a bunch of other stuff. But mainly it's trying to relook and kind of revamp what I do. Close-up magic right now, like how even after this, even things, are still people gonna want to pick a card. Where has that deck of cards? Who's been touching that deck of, stuff like that. So it's just trying to create. My show is so interactive, and I might not be able to do it like that anymore. So trying to come up with some new concepts, and how people can still watch and enjoy magic, but not physically just, I like that. I like it when people, examine, my props, when they shuffle the cards, when they get to look at everything before I perform. And, that doesn't exist, right now, and hopefully, eventually comes back. But just kind of some new ideas, working on new stuff, trying to figure out this, because honestly, like, so for Torch, we do not just the magic side, the hosting side, but we do full sound, lighting, special effects for events, for whatever. But even within the events industry, like, a lot of us doesn't see anything open, coming back till next summer, because once the cases go away, once and venues can reopen. I mean, I normally do 300 to 400 people, at events, and we're so far from that. But once the events, the venues reopen, when the venues reopen, then people can start planning events again. And usually it's going to be at least 6 months before the event, normally, and then look for the company they want to work with. So I have 2 things I'm currently working on, more magic based. So I'm actually looking at stepping away from the event side, the larger event side, and really going back to what made me who I am today, which is magic. So just trying to rethink things, and we live in a very different world now.
Whew. Boy, do we. Can you make COVID disappear, please?
Oh, I've been trying, let me tell you.
This damn COVID.
Yeah, for real though.
And while you're at it, can you make racism disappear?
There's
bigotry, prejudice, all of that stuff. Please.
I wish I had that much power, but as a community, together, we do have that much power.
Come on, preach that. That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Rise up.
So during this time, with everything going, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Ooh, okay, so let's be honest here. It's tough. Not gonna lie. I think I recently been really open with it. I've actually been working on I've been working on a school tour for a while now. I've actually thrown, that's not even a word. I've thrown ideas to Nikki Kealoha, who does the Yes to Purpose school tour. So, I'm very open.
Shout out Nikki.
I just want to see how many people I can name drop in this time.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think I win.
You do win. You do win after 20 episodes, for real. Before all of this happened, I got to do my first one. It's more of a trial because I wanted to try, my material, well, not really my material, but what I'm trying to say and stuff like that. So I was able to do it for Kalaheo High School. And actually Nikki joined me to help it, but it's because of everything I've been through in my life. One thing that not many people talk about is depression, or don't talk about it enough. And that's one thing I fell in huge. But I've dealt with it for ever. It's just, like after, when I was in the show in Waikiki and it closed down, like I didn't know it was depression at the time. But how do you go from working, 2 shows a night, 6 days a week for 4 years to not having a job? Wow. I mean, it's kind of like, this is like COVID to me right now. It's kind of like the second time it's happened to me when I've lost everything. 9/11 was the first, and now this. So there's times and there's moments that I just could not stay motivated at all. It was so difficult. But luckily I have some great friends that, I can talk to, can get me out of it, and I think that's the thing. It's like, no one should ever be ashamed about your mental health. Because, and people say, oh, mental health, like it's I guarantee you, everyone has gone through it, has some,
small part of it in themselves and the experience though. But what I found was inspiration from other people. So that's been keeping me going, is watching what other people are accomplishing. Looking at, for the dance community, I know virtual classes can be very difficult, for choreographers and everybody. But seeing their choreography, and when they start seeing other dancers reposting their, what they learned in class, it's like, see, they're going. Like all these young dancers are doing it. Like, why can't I? Like, they're still doing what they love, and I use the inspiration from that. Like, to me, because I can watch her dance all the time, is Summer Waikiki. Like, she's ridiculous. Like, she's ridiculous. She's so good at what she does, and it just like, I want to be Summer Waikiki when I grow up. Like, I want to, like it just pushes you, and that's what that was my motivation. And even though it has nothing to do with magic, it's seeing other people, push their level. Yeah. And that's all. And so I try to I watch videos whenever I can, but it usually comes from the people that I follow on social media and just seeing their stuff. I mean, it's so much Hawaii has so much ridiculous, talented people. Like, we should just put on our own show. We should have one huge show and just pick people and then televise it around the world. There you go.
I'm telling you, Kalana, when you said that at the beginning, the no resources, I think you're the guy to do it. Yeah. I mean, I think if we do the twerking uehe thing, I think we could probably land a couple of investors, man.
Oh,
wait,
definitely.
But can the both of you please wear models? We're gonna budget. I'll wear like what you would wear, Brent.
Man.
Down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna offend people. I don't know, dude. That might turn the investors away. Dude, shout out to Summer. I don't even know her, but you know how I know her is because when Chanel was coaching with Kara at the UH, she's the only girl. Every time she would go up, I'm like, she is fire. She's like 100. And there's not a lot of that nowadays, like people 100, no matter who's watching, no matter how late in the game, or I haven't seen her in a concert, but I know Summer because that's the one that's always 100. And I think that's a really good thing for somebody to be remembered for, And I like that you said social media in a positive, like in connection with mental health. A lot of people don't think that it's a good thing, but it's all what I'm hearing you say is that it's all a matter of perspective. And if you see it as what I think social media was created to be, as a inspiring community-based thing, it can be a helpful motivator for you. And that's really cool to hear you say that. So thanks for sharing that, man.
I know. Thank you.
What advice would you give to young Kaulana with all that you've seen, with all that you've been through, and what advice would you give to young Kaulana? I don't see you being short, but you said you were short and stubby and being picked on.
Yeah, I don't see you short.
You're very tall.
I
always every time I see an Xterra, I'm like, that's Kaulana. Is that Kaulana in that Xterra? No matter what color it is, I'm like, oh, that's Kaulana's truck. What would you say to young Kaulana?
I've learned that I've learned to never regret anything. Because I feel as tough or difficult it was to experience, that it's made me a better person. It's a lesson, like every lesson learned, So I wouldn't want to say anything about, not doing something or not pursuing something, no matter how you feel about it. But it's to never give up, and to never doubt yourself. Because we are the ones that are gonna take ourselves to the next level. It doesn't matter who believes in us. if we don't believe in ourselves. So if we believe in ourselves first, we can accomplish whatever we want, you know. And you know, I definitely know, you know, young baby Kaulana, you know, would not understand that. So it's to understand that, you know, things are bad things are gonna happen, good things are gonna happen, great things are gonna happen, horrible things are gonna happen. But it's how we stay on our path, stay on our journey, and keep going to our destination. Never give up, never doubt yourself.
That's awesome. Young Kaulana, don't give up, young Kaulana. You can do it.
So is that the same type of advice you give someone else?
Yeah, what about somebody who wants to dance, be a musician, be a performer? What would you say? Is that the same thing you would say to them?
I would feel it would be, because I think through all these years, because wait, let's see, 18 years ago, I started with the dance. I do that now. Like, I met Jason in 2002. It's been 18 years. So,
Wow.
so
That's insane.
I met you in 18 years. Seriously, 18 years ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
That is insane.
Babies, all of you.
You know, I mean, I was never the icon that Brent Koki is.
Oh,
I know. We never had that status, man.
I mean,
I don't have that status.
Brent with his ninja motorcycle, yeah.
It was an R6.
I mean, not anybody can be called the hip hop kid. You know, I mean,
I'm just thankful that was a nickname that was given to me.
see,
I didn't name myself.
that's even more powerful right there.
Icon.
I'm no icon. Let's get that straight.
Wait, I totally forgot what the question was.
advice to the
Advice.
young performers.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, yeah. So yeah, I think it would be similar, because I think all these years seeing dancers, and I think, and I don't want to make this sound bad in any way, but a lot of them just give up because they compare themselves so much to the other people, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So don't give up because you don't think you're as good as this dancer or that dancer. Because to me, it's a learning, you know, it's how you use inspiration, use them as, you know, inspiration to get to where you want to be. I mean, not everyone's going to have the natural talent of dance. Not everyone's going to be able to flip. Not everyone's going to be able to do turns. You know, everyone's, you know, center is different. So no matter what you do, you cannot compare yourself to someone else. You need to compare yourself to what you were a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So for any artist, for anybody, especially when it's a group, so like dancers, and there's a group of vocalists, don't compare yourselves with everybody else, but use each other to push you to become better. You know? I think I would have to, you know, I wish I could tell that to so many people who I've seen stop dancing locally, and they were amazing, and I wish so many people never stop. But I understand for whatever reasons you do.
Yeah. So good, man.
That is so good. And I tell you, well, first of all, I'm going to back it up a little bit. And
First of all, it was an R6. Okay.
it's an R6.
It was a freaking R6, okay? It wasn't a Ninja.
I'm going to back it up because I think it's great that you are letting people know that you weren't okay at some point, which I think that vulnerability, I think a lot of people, you know, try not to show. So for that, I think there are people that need to hear that, because there are a lot of people who probably aren't okay but don't know how to handle it or don't know how to express it, um, or realize that maybe other people are going through the same thing. So
Mhm.
first, yeah, so thank you for sharing that, you know, and completely agree. You got to reach out. You got to talk to your friends. You got to have a strong circle of friends. Um, and then the other thing is what you just said. I think I even struggle with that now because I look at Instagram, or maybe not necessarily Instagram, but like YouTube, and I watch other people and I'm like, man, I suck. But I use that to push myself because I don't want to suck. I think that's me being competitive, but it's it I get frustrated and I get angry, and I hate to say that, but I do because I look at it and I'm the very one that's like, dude, you suck. Like, what are you doing with your life? So that's something I still struggle with today, you know, and I do try to tell the ones that I teach, yeah, don't compare yourself. Like, I don't want them to have that same struggle as me because I know it's a very fine line, like
Mhm.
of healthy and unhealthy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's such a good
Thank you.
like dialogue that
Yeah.
dancers and especially teachers should just have. And so just the fact that
Mhm.
it's brought to the surface and it's a conscious engagement of your value judgment. I think art needs to have like an appropriate understanding of what we think is valuable and what we think is good, and then the appropriation of that value, right? So having that at the forefront of the thought process as we interpret our own dance, but we also translate that for a younger generation of dancers. I think this conversation at large is so good because that's how we combat this kind of like false comparison that I think just eats away at creativity. Comparison eats away at creativity like so much, and so we cannot lead people where we haven't gone ourselves. And so for teachers
Mhm.
to be having this conversation is so imperative for the continuing flourishing of the dance community here. So good. Where
Yeah.
can people follow the magic of Kaulana?
Home
Since
of
Torch, oh, home
magician
of
Kola.
magician Kaulana. I know Torch Hawaii is on a break
Yeah.
right now. So, like for you, where can people follow you? What you're doing, and hopefully
Um,
the development of your performing arts center.
Everything at Magician Colana. Um, I'm mainly on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook, rarely on Twitter, but I'm a very visual person, and that's why I like Instagram. Um, so everything, yeah, at Magician Colana, you know, I'm easy,
What what
you
about
know.
your other one? Your foodie?
Oh my God! See, like I almost forgot about that. I mean, because it's something that I wanted to try because everybody has always said. So, at Kaukau with Kolana is I'm starting
Nice.
my food adventures. So at Kaukau with Kolana.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, wait. So
Very
I
nice.
actually have a question for the both of you, if that's okay.
Not allowed. Goodbye. No. Go ahead.
Yes.
So, because it kind of goes with what we've been talking about, and that's
Yeah.
actually I wasn't until you said something, Larry. So the both of you also have well, the both of you have kids, sons that are artists, performers, dancers. So what advice do you give them, knowing how the community is, the performing art community, been through it yourself, going through it yourself? So what do you tell them to inspire them or to push them, you know, in doing what they do?
Take it away, Larry.
I was just gonna. I didn't. My brain didn't fire enough to make you go first. You stinker. I tell them be the best, dominate the competition and nah, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Yeah. Losers don't live here in this house.
Yeah, winners only. That's what I say.
No mercy.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Oh, what is this? Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I take the Cobra Kai
oh
route
my God.
all the
I'm
time.
thinking, yeah, they're doing such a good job with that. I had to stop watching because like Hoku or Chanel and Levi, they like binge watch that thing so quick. I'm like, this is so good. Like I want to savor it, so I stopped watching. I mean, 'cause, you know, they go back and forth. Who do you like? Who do you not like? Who do you hate? Who do you love? I want to swim in that. They're doing a really good job with that show. I think you know, for me, one of the big things that I try to instill in Levi as he's exploring major things he's playing with right now is breaking. So he's really into breaking with Hijack and the Keiki Breaks crew, and he's a musician, which is something out of me and Chanel's or Hoku's wheelhouse. So I mean, he just loves drumming, and he's picked up the guitar right now, which I think is fascinating to see that type of exploration and expression on his side. But the main thing I'm encouraging him to do is actually to not worry about being perfect. Actually, all opposite things that I just made fun of. I'm encouraging him to explore. I'm encouraging him to find value in discipline, in practice, and not only find value in it, but also find purpose in those things, which is harder and it's a lot more boring. But I really celebrate the mundane in life in general. And I think we for him, my big message to him is these like great performances or these great discoveries, they're like these like secret gifts that just show up in the schedule of a daily practice. And when you get this like breakthrough, it's like this huge gift that you receive and you savor, and then the next day you practice again. So right now it's like exploration and discipline are the major things I am encouraging Levi in.
Oh, I love that.
All right, thanks for
Hip Hop Kid.
see, I think for Brooklyn, I think it's a little bit of, yeah, he's in that exploration phase where he was huge into wanting to play the ukulele, which was from Sasha's side. But my dad plays the guitar too, so that kind of helped. And then, he used to come with me to the studio or to the theater, and then he wanted to dance on stage. He wanted to do that, but he also loves singing, and, he's into his Disney movies. So it's just, I think right now is just having him explore everything. Go ahead, do it, whatever. Like, it's fun to you. That's what you love doing. Like he'll make up songs now. Like he's starting to make up songs. So it's like encouraging that play, encouraging that play in that creativity, and not like, oh, that's a weird song. Like, no, just like whatever. The words don't rhyme. Who cares? Just go. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a crazy story. It's a crazy song, but doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to you. That's cool. So it's just encouraging that, and I think that falls into the lines of falling in love with it, because do it. If that's what you love, then do it. Try not to put any sort of limit to what it is that he's trying to explore. Benny is a little different. He's just, I don't know. Yeah, he's a little different. He hasn't really shown. I mean, he does, he loves Ultraman. He loves
Yes,
he loves singing the theme song to Ultraman.
that's what's up.
And
Show him the old one.
yeah, well, so we have it's almost like it looks like an Apple TV, but it shows it has all the Japanese television shows,
Nice.
live feed, and like I think maybe a week back of every single station, every single TV show. So
Wow.
they've been watching Ultraman. We try to limit them because they want to fight.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Benny, it's funny because Benny loves singing the theme song, but he really likes those like dubstep drops and like that side, where Brooklyn is more like on the musical.
Interesting.
Yeah, he likes the little like the lighter stuff, where Benny like it has to have like that hard hitting
Hard.
like yeah. So Hotel Transylvania, that music, some of the stuff from Trolls, like yeah, I don't know, it's a little different. So it's like, all right, go ahead, kid. Like, but yeah, he likes. So I've been trying to, I guess, practice or play with capoeira again, because it's something that I really enjoyed, and I kind of miss it. So I've been practicing or playing, and Benny seems to like doing that. So
Nice.
yeah, it's just encouraging with play. Like everything, I guess how I am, everything is fun. You know what I mean? Like if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. But yeah, just learning through play, and then falling in love with it if that's what it is. Yeah, on the art side. Yeah, that's the.
Thanks for asking, Kalana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks
And
for asking.
thanks for joining us, man. It's been great to catch up and to hear, and then also to know that your words are going to impact so much people. So thank you for not just your words, just your life and what you do with your life and how you live it out. It's inspiring, and it's I'm really hopeful for all of us and you specifically with what you're doing.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, man. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Send us a
Like,
picture of your sickled foot,
yeah,
and then we're gonna post it. We keep forgetting to ask people.
sickled foot, and if you can do it in a shaka,
You
even
win.
better. Even better. We'll post it.
You know, I'll also work on the spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that one too. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, but thank you, Kalana. Like seriously, there's so many things, so much knowledge that you dropped, and your love for the arts and for people has really shown. So thank you for just being you
Thank
and
you,
your
Brad.
friendship through all this and all my shenanigans.
Seriously.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram at Sickled Podcast. If you want to watch previous interviews, check out our IG. We're jumping on YouTube now. We're still
Yes.
trying to figure this out, but we'll give you
Yes.
guys details as we figure it out. But we'll see you on the next one. Until next time, point your toes.
Bunch of toes. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, guys.
All
See you
right.
later.
See you.